Hello, Pre-Algebra 2 students. This is section 3.3. We're multiplying to get rid of a variable. It's called linear combinations. This is the best way to solve a system, in my opinion, but I'm not a math genius. What we're going to do is we're going to totally get rid of one of these letters in example 1. Okay, so here's my A equation, here's my B equation. Now, if you take a look at these, who's going to be really easy to get rid of? If you're thinking the x, you're right. Because all I have to do is this. I'm going to what do I have to multiply the A equation by? The whole thing will get multiplied by it. To make this look like this. And if you're thinking 2, which I really hope you are, you're right. But here's the one kicker. You want their signs to be opposite. So since this 4 down here is a positive, we want to multiply this by a negative 2 up above. And then we're just going to distribute him to all three. Now this is where you got to be really careful. A lot of times people forget to multiply it to all the terms. So now my A equation is going to look like this. Negative 4x minus 3y equals, whoops, and there I did it. Right out of the gate. I didn't multiply. How about negative 2 times negative 3 is a positive 6y, and negative 2 times 6 is a negative 12. There we go. Now we bring down the B equation, and don't change them at all. Now you notice these are opposites of one another, right? And they'll cancel out, which is perfect. Now we just deal with what we have. You have 6y and negative 5y, so that's just going to leave me with 1y equals, and negative 12 plus 8 is going to give me a negative 4. So y equals negative 4. Now that we know what y equals, you're going to want to pick one of these two equations up here to plug this value in for y. Let's just pick the A equation. It doesn't really matter. You should get the same thing. So we're going to scooch over here a little bit. And now we're going to say, okay, the original A equation said 2x minus 3y equals 6. So we're going to say, okay, 2x minus 3, and we're going to plug in a value for y, excuse me, which is negative 4. And that equals 6. So now 2x plus 12 equals, how about 6, not 16, dummy? Sorry about that. We're going to subtract 12 to both sides. That zeroes out. 2x is going to equal negative 6. Divide by 2. X equals negative, wow, that was pretty sloppily written. Negative 3. So in the end, we're done. That's it. And you're sitting there thinking, and what have we been doing the last section? Yeah, substitution sucks. That's all there is to it. But you write these out as an ordered pair. It's negative 3 and negative 4. Okay? That's if it's nice and warm and fuzzy and that we only have to multiply one equation, or one variable over here, okay? So let's scooch down and take a look at example 2. Now we're going to have to change both letters. Okay, so here in example 2, if you notice, in the first one, we just had to multiply the top equation. Well, here, there's no number I can multiply by 5 to get 7, and there's not a number I can multiply by 8 to get 12. Excuse me. So we're going to pick either x or y. It doesn't really matter who you want to get rid of here. Me, again, personally, I'm going to choose getting rid of x. So it means what you're going to do is you find the least common multiple, or you can always just multiply the equations by one another. Okay, so I'm going to multiply the top by negative 5 and the bottom by 7. You see how I just flipped them around? And one thing I don't have to worry about is signs. They're already opposite, so things should work out okay here. So now, when you distribute, okay, my new A equation is going to be a negative 35x plus 60y equals, so here, what's negative 22 times 5? Holy cow. Mr. Houston pulled this thing out of somewhere, and he's getting all these ridiculously big numbers. I can't do 22 times 5 in my head. Okay, positive 110. Now we go to the B equation. We distribute again to everything, 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to get negative, hold on a second, what did I do wrong here, guys? Oh, whoopsie daisy. Here's where I screwed up. I liked the signs the way they were, right? One was positive, one was negative. I should not have multiplied by this negative. So all we got to do is go back through, change all these signs, okay? Make him a negative, make him a negative. So positive 35, negative 60, negative 110. Okay. It's a good thing it's Monday morning. So now when we multiply the B equation by 7, now I get negative 35x. See how they're opposite signs now? That's what I wanted. And I'm going to get a positive 56y, and that's going to equal whatever 7 times 14 is, which is 98. Okay. Now, notice that, again, positive and a negative 35x, those two will cancel out or zero out. Now we just work down the negative 60 and the positive 56 is going to be a negative 4y equals, now we take negative 110 plus 98. And that gives me a negative 12 divided by negative 4, y equals 3. So there's your y value. Okay, guys, so you've got your y, all right, we figured out our y. Now, again, we're going to choose either equation. Let's just say we want to choose the B equation to figure out our x. So it's negative 5x plus 8 times, now our y value is 3, equals 14. So negative 5x plus 24 equals 14. We're going to subtract the 24 now. And negative 5x equals negative 10 divided by negative 5. And x will equal a positive 2. So your ordered pair that you would write for this, x is 2, y is 3. Now I hope you're sitting here saying, wow, this is a whole lot easier than what we were doing last week with the last section. And you're right, it is. This is the best way to go about it. But we have to show you both ways and teach you both ways and make you understand them. Okay? Plus, it's torturing you, which we enjoy doing. Now, moving on to example 3. Hold on here. We'll get to example 3 here. Okay, here in example 3, we're talking about a linear system with no solution. So you're sitting there thinking, okay, how do we get no solution? Well, I'm going to show you. Here's your A, here's your B equation. Now, again, we need to get rid of either the x's or the y's. Now, to me, okay, you could take 2 times 2 to get 4, or you could take 4 times 2 and get rid of and get 8, and then you get rid of the y. The other nice thing about both of these is one's negative, one's positive, or one's positive, one's negative. They're going to cancel out real easy. So it doesn't really matter who you get rid of. You'll end up the same way down the end. I'm going to multiply this bottom equation by 2 just to keep it easier. And remember, you multiply all 3 by 2. So my A equation is going to stay the same. I'm going to go ahead and bring him down first. So it's negative 4x plus 8y equals a negative 12. And now my B equation is going to be 4x. And that's going to give me a negative 8y equals 14. So you got a positive 4x and a negative 4x. Those cancel out. But we've got a problem here. Take a look. Positive 8, negative 8. These are going to cancel out as well. So I've got nothing on the left-hand side, and I've got a positive 2 over here. If this is how your answer works out, then this is called no solution. Okay, or you could write it like that. So if your letters both cancel out, then there's no solution, because last time I checked, 0 does not equal 2. So that's a no solution one. Nice and easy on that one. Okay, last one, the word problem. So it says we have a customer hires a catering company to prepare food for a party of 30 people. The customer has $80 to spend on food and would like there to be a choice of sandwiches and pasta. A $40 pan of pasta contains 40 servings. A $10 sandwich tray contains 5 servings. The caterer must prepare enough food so that each person receives 1 serving of either food. How many pans of pasta, I think it's supposed to be pasta, and how many sandwich trays should the caterer prepare? So you got to set up your equations first. That's the challenging part. No doubt about it. Okay? So here's how we're going to work this out. Okay? Let's deal with one food at a time. All right? We're going to make an A equation and a B equation. Okay? So it tells us that for the pasta, pans of pasta, it's how many servings was it? Where does it say? $40 pan. Whoops. $40 pan of pasta contains 10 servings. So we're going to use P for pasta. So 10 servings times P for pasta. All right. And then in the B equation, this one's going to deal solely with money. So you kind of think of as one dealing with the actual food, A, and the other one's going to deal with the cost. All right. So we're going to say in the B equation, I'm going to do one thing at a time. The cost of pasta was $40 a pan. Now, okay, back to the A equation, the prices. So now if we're talking about total cost, everything's going to be added, right? So times, now the sandwich tray is 5 servings, okay, per tray. The sandwich tray, let's call it T for tray, all right? And that equals, we're wanting to serve a total of 30 people. Okay, so we figured this out by how many servings per pan of pasta plus the number of servings per pan tray of sandwich stuff is going to equal to 30 people. Now down here it's $40 per pan plus $10 per tray is going to equal $80. All right. Now we've got our A and our B equations. And we can simply figure out, okay, who do you want to get rid of? I'd probably, just because the numbers are smaller, I'd get rid of the T's. Now they're both positive, so that means I gotta multiply one of these by a negative. So I'm going to say multiply this by -2. That'll change everybody. So now my A equation, and I'm just going to rewrite it right below my B, is going to be a -20 P minus 10T equals -60. And I can just go ahead and work it out of these two. So we're going to have 20P plus, whoops, sorry, not plus. The T's cancel out, equals 20. Divide by 20, and P is going to equal 1. Okay? So that's your value of P. All right. Now we need to find the value of T. So we're going to pick one of these two equations. I'm going to choose the A equation again just because it's a little bit smaller numbers. So 10 times P, which is 1, plus 5T equals 30. Okay. So this is going to be 10 plus 5T equals 30. Subtract the 10 5t equals 20, divided by 5, t equals 4. So the p was 1 and the t was 4. So that means what? P was pasta. How many pans of pasta should we get? We should get 1 pan of pasta. So I should get 1 pan of pasta and 4 trays of meat. And there you have it. Or sandwich trays, whatever they call it. Okay? Definitely, for sure, I understand. Setting up your equations is the toughest part. But again, how I thought of it was servings, price. Keep them separated. And then determine your variables. P was for pasta, T was for sandwich trays. Okay? All right. Hope you understand this all right, and we'll get to practicing on it. Have a great day.